You do it without thinking. You beg your car to start on a freezing morning. You apologize to the chair you bumped into. You tell your dog about your day as if it understands every word. You mutter come on to a loading screen as though a machine could be persuaded. You know these things cannot hear you. You know the car has no feelings. The chair has no memory. The app has no ears. And yet the words come out anyway, automatic and sincere. Most people write this off as a silly little habit, a quirk, something you do when you are tired or alone. But the real answer is far stranger, because that habit is not a quirk at all. It is a window into one of the deepest features of the human mind, a piece of mental wiring so powerful that it may be the very reason your species came to dominate the planet. When you talk to your car, you are using the same hidden machinery that built religion, invented storytelling, and let strangers cooperate in groups of millions. To understand it, you have to meet the strangest talent your brain possesses. Scientists call it theory of mind. It sounds technical, but the idea is simple. Theory of mind is your ability to imagine that other beings have an insight, that behind their eyes there is a mind like yours, full of thoughts, wants, intentions, and feelings. You do it so constantly that you never notice it. When you guess that your friend is upset, when you sense that someone is lying, when you predict what a stranger will do next, you are running this astonishing simulation. You are building a teeny model of another mind inside your own. This ability is the social superpower of humans. It is how you navigate a dinner party, tell a convincing story, or comfort of a crying child. Without it, other people would be noticing but unpredictable moving objects. But here is the twist that changes everything. That mind-reading machinery does not have an off switch. It was built to detect minds, and it is so eager, so hungry to find them that it fires even when no mind is there. It sees intention in the rustle of leaves. It sees a face in a car's headlights. It sees an attitude in a stubborn printer. Your brain would rather imagine a mind that does not exist than risk missing one that does. The psychologist who studied this called the pattern anthropomorphism, the reflex to see human qualities in non-human things. And researchers have found it is not a sign of a confused or childish mind, it is a sign of a deeply social one. Consider the famous experiment done in 1944 by two psychologists named Fritz Heider and Marianne Simmel. They showed people a simple animation, just a few shapes, two triangles and a circle moving around a screen. That was all. No faces, no words, nothing alive. And yet, when people were asked what they saw, almost no one described shapes moving. Instead, they told stories. They said the big triangle was a bully. The little triangle was brave. The circle was frightened and trying to escape. People saw fear, aggression, courage, and love in a handful of moving polygons. Nobody had to teach them to do this. Their mind did it automatically, instantly, and irresistibly. Shown mere shapes, the human brain reached for a story about minds. That is the machinery you are using when you talk to your car. It is not broken. It is doing exactly what it evolved to do. It is treating an object as if it had an inside, because of hundreds of thousands of years. Treating things as if they had minds was the safer bet. Think about why. Imagine you are an early human on the savanna, and you hear a branch snap behind you. You have two options. It is just the wind, an object with no attention. Or you can assume it is a someone, a predator, with a plan, watching you. If you assume it is nothing, and you are right, you save a little energy. If you assume it is nothing and you are wrong, you die. But if you assume it is a mind, a hunter, and you turn to look, the worst case is that you feel a little foolish. Over millions of years, the humans who saw minds everywhere survived more often than the ones who did not. You are their descendant. You inherited a brain that would rather apologize to a chair than miss a larking treat. But this is only half the story, because seeing minds where there are none did not just keep your ancestors alive, it transformed what humans could become. The historian Yuval Noah Harari has argued that the thing which truly separates humans from every other animal is our ability to believe in things that exist only in our shared imagination. Money, nations, laws, goods, companies, none of these things exist in the physical world. You cannot touch a country or hold a corporation. They are stories agreed upon by millions of minds at once, and the reason we can't believe in them, cooperate around them, and organize our entire civilization around them is the very same machinery that makes you talk to your car. The ability to treat an invisible intention field agent as real is the foundation of every human institution. To imagine a God watching over you, you first need a brain willing to sense a mind that you cannot see. To trust a piece of paper as money, you need a brain that can believe in an agreement it cannot touch. The reflex that makes you scold a malfunctioning laptop is the same reflex that led humanity build temples, write constitutions, and unite billions of strangers under shared invisible ideas. So the impulse feels small. It feels like nothing, but it is the fingerprint of a mind built for connection at an almost unimaginable scale. And there is a gentle side to all of these too. When you talk to your pet, you are not being foolish. You are extending the deepest social instinct you have to a creature you love. When you name your cat or thank your house plant, you are practicing empathy, keeping the machinery of connection warm and running. Studies have suggested that people who anthropomorphize more tend to feel less lonely because their social brain is always reaching outward, always finding company, even in a quiet room. The tendency that makes you talk to objects is the same tendency that makes you a good friend. It is the reflex to imagine the world as full of others, full of insights, full of minds worth caring about. So the next time you catch yourself pleading with a frozen computer, or saying goodnight to a pet who cannot understand the words, or apologizing to a table you walked into, do not feel embraced. You are not losing your mind, you are revealing it. You are witnessing the single most powerful in your species ever developed. The ability to see a soul where there might be none and to reach toward it anyway. It kept your ancestors alive on the open plains. It built every civilization that has ever existed, and it still hums quietly inside you. Every single day, in the smallest and most human of moments, you talk to a lifeless world. And in doing so, you reveal the one thing that was never lifeless at all, you.